Alright, in this video, I'm going to be walking through the RBA section in BK 100%. But before I start walking through everything, I want to talk a bit about the grip on the controller. So, oftentimes during the B section, you're going to be in a situation where you have to hold R, B, and A. RBA, get it? But yeah, you're going to have to be holding R and B, and you're going to have to be pressing A a bunch. So, this can be uncomfortable with the normal grip that most people use. Sometimes. If you're comfortable with it, then that's fine. You can do that. But for me, I like to hold R with my middle finger, B with my pointer finger or index finger, whichever one it's called. Then that leaves my thumb free to mash the A button or tap it when I need to. I don't use this solely throughout the whole section. That's something to note. I alternate in between the normal grip and that grip that I just explained. I'll be telling you when, just in case you want to use the grips that I explained. But mainly you just want to do whatever's comfortable for you. So in this video I'm going to be showing from Mumbo's Hut and Click Lock Wood to Death Warping and Mumbo's Hut in BGS. Alright, starting off, this token right here. This token is really fast, so I definitely recommend getting it. Setup for this token is to do one big jump, tap A at the peak of your jump, and then tap A 4 more times, then you fly into the token. One thing to note though, see that branch that connects Erie's nest to the tree? You want to avoid flying into that branch. The way I like to do that is to mash A after the token, so I gain height, so I can just go over that branch towards the ginger. So here I like to use the grip that I talked about, with the middle finger on the R button, pointer finger on the B button, then A with the thumb. I'll call it RBA grip, the RBA grip throughout the video. So here we go, one big jump, then tap A, then 4 A presses. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the token, go over this, then you fly into this ginger. And you land right here. So now this is where you do slightly different things depending on if you do soft lock or not. If you don't do soft lock, then you just jump down here, and then you just walk into the hive. Get the token, go in here. Simple as that. Alright, so if you do soft lock, you want to get the jiggy on the flower before you go into hive. To do this, you just fall off in that direction, right there, and then tap A while you're falling, and get on the flower, and then go into the hive. You want to tap A a bit later than you would think, just because the flower is pretty low. So I personally don't like to use my RBA grip here. Again, do whatever is most comfortable for you. So you fall off. Tap A like there-ish, on the flower. The jiggy would be here, I already collected it. So now to get onto the hive, you want to do one full jump, tap A at the peak of your jump, and then tap A 2 more times to get onto the hive, like this. 1, 2. You just get the token and go in. Really simple. Now here, it's just tap A twice, and you barely have to move your joystick. Hold B, just like that. Get the jiggy, jump down there with the jiggy if you want, or wait till after you collect it. Now here, you just have to tap A twice and hold B, and that's it. Flip out, almost every time. Just like that. Okay, so before I show getting the jiggy, I want to just show how to do the clip itself first, and I want to talk about a few things about it. First, just for the clip itself. You're gonna land around the door, then the visual cue to stand is just above this circle. So just about here. And now, to do this clip, you want to fly into the top corner of the door. You want to hold up for a split second. Then you want to let go of up. Then you want to mash A 3 times, then hold up right. During this clip especially, I like to use my RBA grip, which is middle finger on the R button, pointer finger on the B button, and then mash A with the thumb. This is the most crucial thing that you need to be able to do this for. You need to be able to mash A for this properly. So stand about here, fly into it, up, 1, 2, 3, upright, just like that. And you just fly into the loading zone. So now, a few small things to note. So one thing that I've noticed is that if there's a grunty text that just happens to be talking while you're doing the clip, just like that, it becomes really easy to clip, like really easy to clip right away. So now another thing, the camera is important for when you're doing the clip. So if the camera is like above the door, then it's gonna be pretty hard to clip. I'll try to show it. So say the camera is like this. This is not a good camera. It makes it really hard to clip. Whereas if the camera is straight forward, then it becomes much easier to clip. I'll show it again. So if the camera is like this, then this can clip easily. Just like that. Of course, if you're landing here anyways, then the camera will be perfectly set up. Just always. So yeah, that's just a few things to note. Alright, so I'll be showing this section in 2 different parts. First, getting the jiggy, then approaching the door. So to get this jiggy, I see 2 different methods that people use. First is getting in flight, tapping A 5 times, and then the other is tapping A 4 times. For tapping A 5 times, you basically just do that, and then you hold up so you land on the jiggy, like this. I like to use my RBA grip here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you hold up around here, land on the jiggy, just like that. Really simple, really lenient. The worst that can happen is that you fly too much into the wall. That's not that big of a deal. So now the second method is where you press A 4 times. This is a little harder and a little more finicky, but it feels really smooth for some people. So the setup for this is to tap A, hold A actually, tap A at the peak of your jump. Then you do 4 A presses with a space in between. Then you hold up just a bit, then you fly straight into the jiggy. It looks like this. At the peak of your jump, press A. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like that. Simple as that. Neither way gains or loses time on each other, really. It's just whatever's comfortable for you. So here I'm going to be showing 4 methods of getting towards the door. I'm going to be showing slowest to fastest. Slowest and fastest, the time difference between them are like 4 seconds at most. So just do whatever's comfortable for you and escalate as you go along. Definitely try out the slowest starting out, I would recommend. Here. So the slowest involves landing on the ground there and landing before the 765 door. To do that, you land down there, then you do a big jump and tap A at the peak of your jump, and you just float towards the ground around the 765 door. So like this. I like to be in my RBA grip here until this whole room is over. Float down here, just like that. And you do the clip. Just like that. The second method involves landing on the ground down there, excuse me, but not landing around the 765 door. Do that, you land down there, and you tap A 3 times, and then you're at a perfect height at the door. So just like this. 1, 2, 3. Tap A here, hold up, 1, 2, 3, flip, turn, just like that. Those methods are really easy. I definitely recommend them for its consistency. Now the next two methods involves not landing down there. And if you're not going to land down there, the best way to take advantage of that is to press A just as late as possible without landing. Of course, if you land, it's not that big of a deal, but if you are able to tap A just before you land, then that's really good. This timing is a little difficult, but it's worth it sometimes. The first method I'm going to show is not landing down there, but landing around the 765 note door. And it looks something like this. And you just float down here. I like to hold down instead of holding up to land, just because it's simpler, you have more control. So then you just do the clip, just like that. Now the fourth way, this is the fastest way, involves not landing in both. Not landing down there and not landing at the 765 door. So to do this, you have to tap A right before you hit the ground as usual, and tap A again once you're about to approach the door to fly into the top of it, and then you do the clip. So one thing to note about this, if your camera isn't proper, then it's going to be hard to clip. What that means is usually the best way to clip is if your camera is facing like straight forwards towards the door. If the camera is like above the door, then it's going to be hard to clip. Let's see if I can do it here. That was a good camera. That was a really good camera. And you just go towards the loading zone. Just like that. It takes some practice. It's not that hard. Always, I think everyone can do pretty easily. Just need some practice. Alright, so for this room, I'm going to be showing 3 different methods. The difference between the fastest and slowest is like at the very most 2 seconds, so don't stress about it that much. So for the slowest method, right away you want to tap A, then hold right after you get the jiggy, the token. Then you want to fly sort of into the wall of the alcove to lose some height. Then you want to go towards the jiggy and land. It looks like this. Don't hold B here though. It makes it hard. You get this. Now you tap A, get into flight, and then after you're in flight, you tap A 6 times, and then you're at a good height. You can hold B here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn, go into the loading zone. Just like that. It's really easy, really simple. So now the second method, it involves not landing on the jiggy. Setup at the beginning is the same. You tap A, hold straight right, and splash in the water. Then you want to fly sort of towards the top of the alcove, then change direction while you're in the air, get the jiggy, tap A, and then go out of bounds and into the next loading zone. So it looks like this. It's not that hard. Turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's much easier than it looks. So I say you can give it a try, but definitely do whatever's comfortable for you at the end of the day. So now for this third room, I'd say the difficulty spike increases quite a bit. It involves doing strats from the first 2 methods. So you fly into the wall of the alcove and you don't land on the jiggy. It's basically just as simple as that. You gotta sort of get a feeling for it, but it looks sort of like this. If done correctly, then it saves about 1 more second, probably a bit less than a second over the second method. But yeah, that's about it. Just choose whichever one's most comfortable for you, as with all the other strats in this tutorial. Alright, so I'll be showing this in 2 separate parts. First, the FP layer jiggy, then the I jiggy. For the FP layer jiggy, right away you just hold down left, get into flight. So now, go into the tunnel. To get this jiggy, you want to press A near the endish of the tunnel, so you're flying into the roof of the tunnel. Then once you leave the tunnel, you want to press A again, so you're at a perfect height so you can fly straight into the jiggy. It's really simple, it's really lenient, and it looks like this. Tap A around here. Tap A again here. You fly right here. The jiggy is right in the middle, you just have to fly straight, just like that. So right here, you're going to do something a little different depending on if you do 450 skip or not. If you do 450 skip, that means that you got the token down left of us before you did the trick, because that route is really strict on tokens. But if you don't do 450 skip, then the token is still there. So it's faster to get it as the B here. So now, to get this, you want to go to the left of this. See how we're stuck on the platform? You want to unhook yourself from here. You go left and hold straight up, get the token, jump down, tap A like there, go through the tunnel. It's easy as that. So if you do 450 skip, then you just go straight to the tunnel. To do that, you just basically hold straight left, then hold up, and go into the tunnel, just like that. Really simple. So for this room, I'm going to be showing first how to get the eye jiggy, how to do the grab, and then after I'll show how to approach the eye, and then I'll show how to escape the eye jail. So for this eye jiggy, the method that I like to use, and the method that I think is the easiest, is to grab it with your nose. You do this by approaching it and tilting slightly down, and then grabbing it with your nose so it just barely clips through the eye. Then you can turn and then go through the loading zone. Height-wise, you want to be at about this level. You want to be either on the jiggy's level or slightly above it. I'd say slightly above it is better than slightly below, because if you're slightly below, then sure you can try to grab it by pressing A underneath, and sure it can work sometimes in a lot of cases, but I'm pretty sure that the chances of getting stuck in the eye jiggy, in the eye jail, increases greatly if you approach it from underneath. So you want to approach it from this side. I'll show it after. You want to approach it from this side, and then you want to approach it and let go of B so you can have more control while grabbing it. Just like that. So right here, I want to show this real quick. Let me land. Okay, so right there. See how there's a corner? You want to approach it from the left side, not the right side. It's a bit hard to see here. You want to make sure it's on this side, right here. Not this side, close to the nose. I'll show it again. Go here. I like to let go of B while I'm grabbing the jiggy, just so I have more control. Grab it, and then turn, just like that, for the loading zone. And that's it. Right, so setups on how to approach this eye jiggy. First one that I'm going to show takes a wide turn around the eye. It does this so you can approach the eye from a straighter line. So the first cue for this, to fly into the tunnel and tap A around the gold feather. Just like that. The second visual cue is to fly towards this web that's to the right of the ding pot. Fly towards that web. So now you fly towards this web until you're at a good enough height to turn. You have to sort of judge it for yourself. You want to turn when you think you're just above the jig. Definitely don't go too low. A bit too high is better than a bit too low. Because if you're a bit too low, you have to try to get it from the bottom. And when you do that, the chances of getting stuck in the eye increases greatly. So it's better to approach it from a bit higher. Right here-ish. Pretty high. Now get it with your nose like that. Turn. Go out. Just like that. Alright, so this second setup takes a straighter line towards the eye. It just turns at the very end. So the setup for this, to turn, go into the tunnel, tap A right away when you enter the tunnel. And you fly towards the eye right away. Be careful here, go a little slow, then turn towards the eye and get it with your nose, just like that. It can be done just like that, in many ways. I'll show it again. So, do the setup for this jiggy as normal. Turn. Tap A right away in the tunnel. Fly towards the eye. Here, I like to let go around. I like to let go of B just so I can carefully go around the eye, and then just get it, then exit. It's not too hard, but I definitely like going around with the Y turn better starting out, just because you get a clearer picture of what you want to do. So now, sometimes you might accidentally get stuck here inside the eye. This can be a bit hard to get out of if you don't know what you're doing. Easiest way to get out, fly into the corner like here, hold down and tap A a few times. You'll get out every time really easily. It's really simple to get out just like that. Just hold down, tap A a few times. See if I can get into there again. Oops. Okay, so hold down, tap A a few times, and you're out. It's really simple. Then you just leave the loading zone. Alright, so for this room, I'm going to be explaining a few different things. First will be things about the camera. The second will be an easy method for this room. The third will be a harder method. And then the fourth will be just a backup for if you fail one of the methods. But first, the camera. If you fly out too high, or if you fly out too early, then the camera will flip out, sort of, like this. It'll be hard to control. If you're good enough, and you've practiced enough, then you can still get the jiggy and maneuver yourself into the vase, but that's really hard. So what I would recommend, if that happens, is to come over here, towards the door frame, and then come out. Then the camera will be fixed. So, why does this happen? There's actually an image that I'll link in the description that I've seen from the 8-Bit Beast. Basically, there's like a polygon right around here, where if you fly into, then the camera won't flip out. But if you don't fly into that polygon, then it will flip out. So just look at the image, it'll make much more sense when you see it. So for the easy method of this room, you want to fly into that top left corner of the door frame. Double tap A and hold up left, and hold R. But you want to not hold or press B until after the sparkles go away. You don't want to leave this door frame until the sparkles go away, because then the camera will flip out. And then you just want to fly onto the sarcophagus and land. It looks like this. And then just land right here. Now from here, you fall down, and you can either just land, or you can try tapping A right before you land. But it's much easier to just land. Now double tap A and hold down and float gently into the vase, just like that. I'll try showing it again. See, the camera flipped out for a second, but I flew back into the polygon where you need to fly into. So it snapped back. So for this harder method, it's the same basically starting out, and then while you're flying towards the coffin, you want to tap A before you land. Just a little bit before you land, and then you'll fly into the coffin without landing. And once you do that, and you get the jiggy, then you can turn and go into the vase. Looks like this. Just like that. It's a bit finicky, but with enough practice it can be really consistent. I'll try showing it again. One thing to note though, on the way to the vase, you have to sort of judge for yourself if you want to hold B or not. Whether you want to hold B or not depends on how early you turn after the coffin. Because if you turn a bit early, then you'll still gain a bit more height because of the A press. But if you turn a bit late, then you'll have less height because of the A press. So let's try this again. Just like that. Just practice it. It's a bit hard, but I think anyone can get it consistent. So for the backup, say you missed the jiggy. Say you missed this completely. I would say the best thing to do is to come here. See this black square right here? Just below it, there's a black dot, a tiny black dot right here. I would say you should stand on it and face towards the coffin, double tap A, and hold down. Then just land and float onto the coffin. Then it's the same as before. Go off, double tap A, and float into the vase. Just as simple as that. It's not hard. It's really easy. If you really want to, you can just do that right away. Find the black dot, and then double tap A. It's quite a bit slower, but if that's what you want to do, then you can if you want. It's the easiest method, if you would say. But yeah, that's it. So for this room is really simple, really easy. What you want to do is right when you land from the top, you want to tap and hold A, go over this ledge, and then turn back. I'll show it from the beginning because it's much easier to understand. Hold down, tap A right away, and turn back after you're over the edge. Then you just walk straight through this. If you're not clipping into it right away, just wiggle it a bit, but you should be able to clip right away instantly. Then you just fly out. So to do this, double tap A, wait for some of the sparkles, then tap A again, and then hold up. It looks like this. Double tap A again here, then hold up. Just really simple, really easy. Shouldn't take much time to learn. Alright, so for this room, I'm going to be showing my method that I like to use for this clip. My method is really, really simple. It's sort of a new strat that I came up with myself. I don't know how I came up with it, but I just started doing it one day. So before I start, I want to explain something. So this clip starts out by tapping A in this corner. When you tap A in this corner, you want to wait till some of the sparkles go away. The reason you do that is because if you don't, then you'll clip out of the top here. So by waiting for some of the sparkles to go away, you lose potential height, so then you won't clip out of the hut. So here you want to kind of take advantage of the input display I have. It's a bit hard to explain. You want to fly into this top corner, wait for some of the sparkles to go away, then fly into the top corner, tap B when you're at the top corner. That usually helps me to clip. Then you want to hold upright until you're into the loading zone. A small thing to note, sometimes you can overshoot it when you're holding upright, and then you'll have to finagle your way into the loading zone. It's sort of hard to judge for yourself, but sometimes you have to hold left a bit so you can make it towards the loading zone. Tap B, turn, just like that. If you saw at the end there, I turned a bit left because I wasn't completely facing the loading zone. You'll get a feel for it eventually. It's just a little hard to do. So let's show it again. Tap A here, tap B there, turn, and go into the loading zone. So now the entire room is really simple. Hold down right, double tap A, then let go of the stick, and hold B the whole time, of course. Then you want to fly towards this, then do the clip, just like that, and go into the loading zone. If you want, you can land before you do the clip. It's not that hard to do it without it, but I can understand if you do want to land. Just like that. So you'll have to imagine where the loading zone is, so you can accurately put yourself towards it. I'll show it one last time. That time, I went out a bit too early, but it was fine still. I didn't wait enough for the sparkles to go away, but it still worked out. So for BGS, it's really simple, really simple. Just fly towards Mumbo's hut. This is the direction. Let's go over here. Fly towards the hut. Fly into the loading zone just like this. Now for the honeycomb, you want to walk forward and then tap A 3 times. And then just hold up. It's really simple. 1, 2, 3. Hold up and B. Now here what you want to do is you want to jump to the transformation pad and transform right away. You don't want to get the token here. You want to get the token behind Mumbo after as BK. The reason for this is because when you enter the skull, Mumbo is sleeping. And you have to wait for him to wake up before he can transform you. So during that time period, you can't do anything. So it's better to use that time and get the token while he's waking up. So here you just jump back and transform right away. Then you get that token behind him after. I'll show it. Just right here. See, he's sleeping. You have to wait for him to wake up. Then you just wait. Transform. I don't have enough tokens, so whatever. You know what? I'll show a little bonus. The setup for the first CROCTUS, most people will probably need to learn it. It's really simple. There's just a visual cue. So after you die, you just hold up, you roll, flutter, then there's a little mark on the ground that you just hold straight, that you just stop on and you hold straight left and shoot an egg. I'll show it right here. Hold straight up, roll and flutter. This mark right here, hold left, and then just like that. Really easy. I'll go back to just show the mark. Let's see, where is it? Right here. Just like that. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, ask me or anyone else in the BK Discord. Anyone will help you. And yeah, that's it.